Alright, we're gonna start with lipstick. Anything that's expired is just getting thrown in that bag, it's getting thrown away. Anything that's sellable, or like if someone wants, then I could possibly give it away, I will put in a pile over here. And anything I'm keeping is going to be over here. Most of what I'm going to be getting rid of in this section is going to be expired things though. So I'm going to start here with the Finding Ferdinand Knob Hill Red. I'm still testing this out, so I still want to use it, along with the Finding Ferdinand Au Naturel lipstick. I love both of these, so I will be keeping them. Where did I say I was going to put the keeps? I'll just put them right there. I also am really enjoying the Bella Saint Ardent, or Bellin Argent lipstick. I don't know what shade it's in, but I really like it. I haven't had it very long. He's allowed in here. Am I blocking it, actually?
What's in DS? That red one right there. Yep, that pretty one.
It's a coral shade.
I like that one. Keep that.
Okay. I keep all my Clinique lipsticks. So. They're my dead mom's, so.
Thick Daddy Stefan on the way.
Right. So Josh made that decision. This one I think I'm getting rid of because I never wear it. It's the Tarte Lip Splash in Island Life.
You don't wear that one. Get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm just gonna toss it because it's old. Neat. I love this Trust Fund Beauty lip gloss. I also really like this soap. Ooh, it has a cat hair on it. The Soap and Glory Peach Pot lipstick. It's really nice for spring. I just haven't pulled it out in a while, so I'm keeping that. And I'm still testing out the butter lipsticks. I have a weird shade. It's the shade Mauve into Brazil. It's not my favorite. I wish I would have gotten a different shade, but I still like the formula, so I'm going to keep that. That's a good one for fall. Two that I'm getting rid of because they're old. Actually, this one's not old. I am going to keep, actually, yeah, I'm going to keep Unicorn Tears from Too Faced, but I am going to get rid of this Essence lipstick in Cool Nude because I've had this for a really long time and it's developing like moisture in the tube, which is really disgusting, so I'm tossing that. I'm also going to keep this Milani one, and it's in the shade Matte Luxe. They changed their formula, but I still really like their lipsticks. My Glossy Generation G in Leo is obviously not going anywhere. I use this incessantly. So, keeping that. I'm going to get rid of this Tom Ford one. This one, the top on it is faulty and it constantly falls off, which leads me to believe that it's possibly dried up. So I'm going to go ahead and toss this because, again, it's bad. I don't need to keep it. I thought about keeping these MAC lipsticks, but if I'm going to get rid of any of them, I'm going to get rid of Russian Red. I'll post this on Poshmark, or I'm going to get rid of this one, but I am going to keep a Velvet Teddy because I do like Velvet Teddy, and they're not expired or anything. I just had them a long time and I don't like the formula of them. The same with this Smashbox one. I was going to keep this because I like the name of it, but I don't love the color, and so again, I'm just going to toss this aside to either sell or give away or whatever. I'm keeping my Bite Beauty Agave lip masks. I have the shade Peppermint or Candy Cane and Maple. I don't know if I like this. It's the Defy and Inspire lipstick in the shade Checkmate, but I'm going to keep it to keep trying it out. By the way, I do have lipsticks in my purse, but my purse is out in the car and I don't feel like getting it, so there's that. This is one of my favorites. It's the Lip Stylo from Hourglass in Influencer. Definitely keeping this. I absolutely love this. I also have the Tarte Nude lipstick. This is like a lip balmy texture and I really, really like it, so I'm keeping that as well. I actually never wear this shade. What does it look like? I'm not going to swatch everything, but that's really pretty, and maybe since I've gotten rid of some of the other ones, I actually will wear this. I have another Ulta Beauty one. It's in the shade Pink Chocolate, and I do wear this one a lot, and the shade is a lot different. The texture, well, okay, I'm saying a lot different. It's not that different, but the texture is different, so keeping both of these. This Morphe one I'm really conflicted with because it's like gotten really melty in the tube, and I don't know, I just feel like it's gone bad, but I haven't had it that long. So I'm going to keep it for now. It's in the shade Whipped. I really love the formula of this, but like I said, it just feels like it's been going bad or something. I have 3 of these NYX ones. I've had these for a really long time, but Mason was so hard for me to find. So I am going to keep this one. But I think I only need to keep one of these reds. I have Alabama and Perfect Red, and I think I liked Alabama more. Yeah, I liked Alabama more, so I'm going to get rid of Perfect Red, and I'm going to keep Alabama. Alright, the ColourPop Luxe lipstick in Scorpio Moon, obviously keeping that. The Glitter Flip by Ciate, I maybe have tried this out. I'm going to put this in the giveaway pile, or to be given away, because I'm never going to use that. I'm going to get rid of both of these Bite. Well, I'm not going to get rid of Thistle. I'm going to keep the Bite Amuse Bouche in Thistle. But I am going to get rid of Chai because, again, it's just not a color that I'll use. I really don't use Thistle all that much, but I just don't think I'm ready to give it away because it was so expensive. And I do like mauves, it's just I never use that particular formula. These Becca Lush lip balms I really like, but I think they're going bad. They smell really bad and they kind of make my lips tingle. And as hard as this is to do, because these are 2 of my favorite lipsticks, I do think I'm just going to have to throw them out because they don't smell good. My Lancome Juicy Shaker I am going to keep for now, but I will need to get rid of it. It's an alcohol base and I do think it's going bad. I've had it for a long time, so I'm going to keep it for now. The Buxom White Russian lipstick I haven't really gotten a chance to try, so I'm going to keep that around. These 2 Maybelline ones I'm going to toss. I have not bought anything from Maybelline in a long time, and these specifically I bought way before going cruelty free, and so I know they're bad, so getting rid of those. My Milani Matte Innocence is pretty old, but it still smells fine and still performs fine, so I am going to keep it. I'm probably going to throw this in a project pan or something at some point. And then lastly, my Ciate London Lip Luster in the shade Call Me. I love this, and now that I've gotten rid of some other ones, I think that I will end up using it. So, let me organize this, and then we will get on to the next section. Alright, so now I have plenty of room for the ones that are in my car, but also, more if I want to end up buying more. So next section is my big eyeshadow palette, so let's move on to that. Okay, so these are all of my big eyeshadow palettes, but also ones that hold some kind of importance to me. The first one is this one. This is from Tarte. This is from one of their holiday collections, and I don't want to get rid of this, but I would really like to depot it. I don't know exactly what that would entail, but I think the formula of this is nicer than most of Tarte's eyeshadows, so if I can depot this, I would really like to. So for now, I'm going to take it out of my collection, but I'm going to put it back hopefully in a Z palette. And there's a few of these that are like that, so this is the first one I'm going to be keeping. The second one is the Lorac Mega Pro 3, and I'm definitely not getting rid of this. This is one of my most well-used palettes, so I'm keeping this one for sure. But I've been conflicted with this one for so long, and I'm finally deciding that I don't like it. It's the Morphe 350, and as you can see, it's barely touched, so I'm going to be putting this in my sell/giveaway pile. Next is my BH Cosmetics Carly Bybel palette, and I'm definitely keeping this one because it's one of my favorites. The Morphe 25B used to be one that I really loved, but I'm kind of deciding that with these bigger Morphe palettes, all the shadows look the same. So same as the Morphe 350, I'm going to get rid of this. Next is my Lawless Beauty palette. This is the one palette, and I love this. I'm not getting rid of it. This is one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes in the world. If I got rid of all my eyeshadows, I would keep just this one. So, we are keeping that. I even keep it in the little sleeve for protection. I'm finally going to get rid of this Pro Fusion Pro Pigment palette. The mattes in here are really, really nice, but there's only like 4 of them. So it's not worth keeping just for those mattes, and this is not the type of palette that can only depot. So I'm just going to get rid of it. I think I paid $6 for it, so I'm going to put this, I'll try to sell it, but I don't think anyone will buy it. But if you do, the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette I'm not getting rid of because I do really love this palette. I think the colors are different enough that I can get multiple looks out of it, so I am going to keep this one. This one I'm torn with. It's the Morphe 35F. My sister gave me this, and I was like really excited about it because this is one that I've been wanting for a really long time, but I have not used it since she gave it to me. So, and this is nice because like all the colors do look a little bit different, and it is mostly shimmer, which I do think is nice, but I don't know. I'll probably keep it for now, but we will see. But yeah, this will be the only Morphe palette I keep. The Tarte Graveyard Girl palette is really old, but it was one of my first eyeshadow palettes that I ever bought, so I will be keeping it just for sentimental purposes mostly. But the Too Faced Power Makeup, Josh got me this, and I kept it for that reason, but I'm just realizing like the shadows are like crumbling. I don't know if it's gone bad. I do definitely think I got a bad batch. There's hard pan all over these. So I am going to get rid of this. And when I say get rid of it, I mean toss it because it's just not worth having anymore. The Too Faced Little Black Book of Bronzers, I would really love to depot this. So I'm probably going to put this in my keep pile and put it in like my depot little pile. The Chloe Morello Pretty Fun and Fearless palette, I really like it. It's a nice colorful palette. It's broken up by warm tones and cool tones, so definitely keeping this. I also plan on keeping my Beige Cosmetics Aurora Lights palette. It's an 18 color baked formula, and honestly I don't like some of these. Some of the formulas of these are off, like the shade Polar isn't very good at crumbles, but on the flip side of that, shades like Flashing are really nice, Phenomenon are really nice, Magnetic's really nice. So some of these are duds, but for the price I do think it's really nice. And then lastly, the Natasha Denona Star palette. I'm never, ever, ever getting rid of this. I love it so much. I haven't noticed a formula change on it, but I know some people say that the formula does change on these. I haven't noticed anything. So I'm definitely keeping this. I really like it. So like I said, I'm going to put these 2 aside to depot them, and then I'm going to put all the rest of these back, and then, you know, that's my giveaway pile. So yeah, I feel like I did okay. So this is where I need to start getting absolutely freaking ruthless. I just don't use a lot of these, and some of them are bad, you know, some of them I just simply don't like. So I really need to be ruthless with this. So I'm going to start in this section right here with some of my smaller palettes, and I'm keeping, I literally just said I need to be ruthless, but I'm keeping all of these. I just really like all these. These are all matte palettes. It's the Persona Pink Theory, the Mad for Matte, and the Marvelous Mauves. I am keeping these because I love the formulas of them, and I think if I had less eyeshadow, I would actually get some use out of them. And then this is the Blink Electric Eyes palette that they did with BoxyCharm, and this is one of the few BoxyCharm items that I actually do really like. So I'm keeping this as well. I am going to be getting rid of all of these color icons though. I just simply don't like them. I've come to realize I like the mattes, but I don't like the shimmers, the exception being this one, the Walking on Eggshells palette, but honestly I get the same effect with the Blink ones. So I'm going to get rid of all of these. I just don't like them. There's no point in them being in my collection anymore. I have 3 of these mini Naked palettes, and I actually really like them. I have the Naked Petite Heat, the Naked Basics, and the Naked Basics 2, and I think these are like the best quality Naked palettes. So I am holding on to these. And I'm actually not going to be putting my eyeshadows back immediately because I need to rearrange all of my palette drawers, and hopefully I'll be getting rid of enough that I can actually do that. So, alright, this is one that I was really conflicted about. This is the Kathleen Lights Morphe palette, and honestly, I never use this, and it's expired, and the formula completely changed on it a little bit ago. It reminds me a lot of the Lawless Beauty palette that I have now, and I realize I just can't keep things because it simply has like her name on it. Like, you can be a fan without keeping every single little thing. So I am just going to toss this because it's just super, super old. I have this Violet Voss Holy Grail Fun Size palette, and I actually really, really like this palette. So I will be keeping it. I'm doing great, huh? The Alamar Cosmetics palette, I love this as well. This is like one of the best indie brand palettes I've ever tried. So I'll be getting rid of this. Oh my god, I'm doing so bad. The Beige Cosmetics Festival palette, another palette I really love and I will be keeping. I've raved about this palette before. I will rave about it again. The Deuce palette by Juvia's Place. I don't get a lot of use out of it, but I do really like it. You can use these as face shades and as eye shades, which I think is just really awesome. So I am going to keep this. Hopefully I'll get rid of enough that I can start incorporating this into my collection. Excuse me. The Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette I am going to be getting rid of. I do really like the shades in here, but I have enough cool tone shades in other places that I simply don't need this. I'm so glad I discontinued BoxyCharm because they send way too many palettes. Alright, I have this Artistry palette from Bad Habit, and it's an exact dupe for the Master by Mario palette. And I bought both of them at roughly the same time. Why, I do not know, but I'm keeping both of them because the formulas are exactly the same, and I'm almost out of that shade Marina. And I want to have a backup for when this either goes bad or I run out of it. So, not getting rid of that. Good boy. I have my Urban Decay Naked palette, and I'm obviously not getting rid of this because I wouldn't be able to get it back because they don't sell it anymore. So definitely keeping that. And then all of these, I'm keeping all of them, and all of these as well because I love these. So, not doing very good in this department, but maybe the next drawer I'll do even better. I know there's palettes I want to get rid of, they just weren't in this drawer. In here, I know for sure there's a lot of things I'm getting rid of, so I'm feeling better. The first one being is the Kristen Leanne Daydream palette. I keep fighting myself like, oh, I'm going to use this, I'm going to use it. But because I have the Just Peachy palette, like I know I'm not going to use it. So getting rid of this one and keeping the Too Faced Just Peachy palette. Definitely keeping the Persona Identity palette. It's one of my favorites, but I don't get a lot of use out of it because obviously I just have too many eyeshadows. But I am getting rid of all of these palettes. I'm going to post them on my Poshmark. This is the Pat McGrath palette. It's the Bronze Temptation palette. I just don't like this. I don't like the formula. I don't like having it in my collection. I paid a lot of money for it, but I use a Poshmark credit, so I don't feel as bad. My sister gave me this. It's the Tarte Leave Your Mark palette, and I'd actually been wanting this because I'd seen it at the store, and it's like such a good like little everyday palette, but I just don't use it. So if I'm not getting use out of it, there's no sense in me keeping it. I'm tossing this. I don't want Laura Lee in my collection, and I don't want to profit off of her, so she's going in the trash. I have the Pure Cosmetics Soiree Diaries. I actually love this palette, but it's just too similar to things that I already own, so I'm getting rid of that. I'm also getting rid of the Crown Pro palette. It looks exactly like the Naked Heat, but again, I don't need it. And the Makeup Revolution Emily Edit palette. I just don't like it, and there's no sense in me keeping it around if I don't like it. I'm also getting rid of the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette for the same reasons. I just don't get enough use out of it. So these are all going bye-bye, and I'm keeping all the rest. I have the ColourPop Semi Precious palette, which I haven't even tried yet, but I'm really excited to. I have the Tarte Clay palette, which you can't even get anymore, but it's one of my favorites. The Lorac Pro matte palettes, again, another one of my favorites. The Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly, I'll never get rid of because I tried to get my hands on it for so long and I wanted it, and my stepmom ended up getting it for me for Christmas one year. My single shadows, which most of these actually came from my sister, but I really love this palette that I made, so definitely holding on to this. This is my first pan that I've gotten in an eyeshadow palette pretty much ever since I've become a hoarder. So I'm really excited about that, so I'm definitely keeping it. It's the Too Faced Sugar Cookie palette. I also have the Tarte Tease palette that I love, so I'm keeping that. I am going to keep the Viseart Golden Hour palette, but I do want to see if I can depot these shades. So I'm going to put that in my pile of like things I'm going to depot. And then lastly, I have the Pierce Sculptor palette, but I don't use it as a sculpting palette. I love it as an eyeshadow palette. So now for my singles. So firstly, these Natasha Denona top coats have already dried out, so those are getting tossed. I have this cream eyeshadow from Dirty Little Secret, and it's an eyeshadow stick. Ooh, that's really pretty. I need to try this out more. I'm gonna keep it. I have this Naked Cosmetics pigment. I never use pigments. Let me see. This would even be a shade I would want. Ooh, I don't really have anything like this. It's like a really pretty like gold. Yeah, I truly have nothing like this. So I'm gonna keep this. Oh, I don't think I've ever even swatched this, which is so stupid. This is so pretty. And then I have this MAC Dazzle Shadow. My husband got it for me. I'm never getting rid of it, even though it's MAC, even though they're not cruelty free, because again, my husband got it for me like as like a surprise, and I wore it to the ball. So definitely keeping that. I actually love this nude eyeshadow from The Balm. It's just a single, and I really like it for travel. My 3 liquidy eyeshadows, I'm keeping all of them. I have the Stila Kitten Karma eyeshadow, the Glossier Lid Star in Fawn, and then the Cover FX one in Amethyst. And I think Amethyst, yeah, I loved this color. It's like a really pretty lavender. So I'm definitely keeping these. And then I have my Hourglass in Blaze, and I love this. Ooh, I absolutely love this eyeshadow. I wouldn't get rid of it for anything. Like, you couldn't pay me for this. It's one of my favorites. But I am getting rid of this Niche and Mia because it doesn't show up on me, and I'm like pale as they come. So I think I'm just trashing that because if it doesn't show up on me, it's not really going to show up on anyone. I feel like I did really good in this drawer, so let's see if I can do just as good in the next drawer. I'm keeping all of my Huda Beauty ones because I love these. So that's first thing. I am going to get rid of this Morphe one. It's the 3B. I've only used it once, but I don't like it, and there's no sense in me keeping it when I know I don't like it. I have the Milani Most Love Mattes, which I absolutely love, so I'm keeping that. I'm keeping all of my ColourPops. I love these. I would love to depot them though, if I'm being completely honest, because I feel like when I use them, I really like using them together. But I'm definitely scared to because I don't want to ruin the shadows. Let me know in the comments if you've ever depotted one. Like, I definitely want to depot Element of Surprise and like the Dream Street one, but I love the packaging of Dream Street, and I love the packaging of, I'm not depotting these. That, me struggling with that just showed me up. I'm getting rid of this Winky Lux palette. I only kept it because there were kittens on it. I like the formula, but I don't like it enough to keep it. I have the ColourPop. This isn't ColourPop. These are just some singles. I'm keeping these. I'm getting rid of this Maybelline Gigi Hadid. I'm just tossing it. It's old and it's just old. I have the e.l.f. Aqua Beauty Velvet eyeshadows. Yes, these look disgusting, but this formula is amazing, so I'm keeping this. I have the CoverGirl Peach Punch eyeshadow. This is a really good drugstore option, so I am going to keep this. And I am going to keep the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone because I like this formula better than the new one. This is a new one to me, the e.l.f. J. Kissa one, so it's obviously not going anywhere. Alright, the BoxyCharm Pure Palette, I'm getting rid of this. I just don't like the formula of this one in particular. The Kat Von D Shade in My Eye palette I'm so conflicted with because I actually do like the colors in here, I just don't like the formula. And I think I've struggled with it for so long, I just need to get rid of it. I need to get rid of it. Surprisingly, I did not like the Jeffree Star Beauty Killer palette. I got it in a makeup swap and I just am not into it. I don't like the color combo of this at all. It's not a formula thing. So I'm going to get rid of this as well. I have the Carity Unicorn Dreams palette. I haven't used this yet, but I want to. And then all of my liquids. Alright. So these are all my single shadows. First and foremost, I have this one from Maybelline, and honestly, that's like the most pretty eyeshadow. So I'm going to keep that. I know a lot of my ColourPop ones have gone bad. This one in Blaze is rotten, so I am just getting rid of that, no hesitation. These NYX ones smell bad, and because of that, I don't want to keep them. I don't know if they're bad or what, but they stink. They smell so bad. These should be fine. This one in Millionaire, I think I just got that one last year. Yeah, that one's still fine. The ColourPop Ritz, this is the only one I have remaining from that Laura Lee collab that they did, and it still works fine, and I really like it. I love the shade Whittle. I just wore this recently. And then I have these Ulta cream shadows. I don't know if they're still good or if they've dried out a little bit. They seem to be okay. The formula has definitely changed on them. You know what? I don't think I like the way these look on the eye. I think these kind of look crumbly on the eye. Look, you know what? I think the pinky mauve one was fine, but I think I had issues with the gold one. So I'm going to get rid of the gold one because I think the formula on it is just strange. So I also have these. I have the cream shadow liner in mauve on over from Ulta. I'm keeping that, along with the liquid catsuit from Wet n Wild. This is the Gothographic collection, and it's in Mystic Dreamer, and I love that one. I'm also keeping the Urban Decay Sin eyeshadow because this one is my project pan, and I'm going to finish it up this year. I just used this one recently, Set to Stun, and that one's still kicking, so I'll keep that. I actually really like this metallic cream shadow in the shade Raised on Promises. I really like this one. It shears out really pretty. And I love the Milani one in Luster Light. This with the MAC Dazzle shadow on top is stunning, so I'm definitely keeping that. These I'm not sure about. I'm going to swatch them. They're supposed to be like eye bases, but I wouldn't use them as eye bases. Oh, those are pretty. This one is in Peach Glow. Oh my god. And this one is in Satin Blush. Oh my god, these are so pretty. Maybe now that I've gotten rid of some, I'll use these because these are gorgeous, and I know I've never used them. Right, I have this one in Deep Dive. Again, this one is fine, so I'll keep that one. And then I have this Winky Lux shadow, and if I remember correctly, the formula of it I didn't like. Yeah, wasn't really into this, so I'm going to get rid of this. I do want to swatch this pigment. I got this pigment from Wet n Wild, and it's called Carol, or it's in the shade Carol. I'm down to 2 pigments, so you would think that I would use them. Alright, I'm going to keep that. And the last one in here is the e.l.f. Rose Gold Sunset Palette, which I love, which I'm keeping. It's like a perfect dupe for the Anastasia one. So I'm keeping this. And I am going to go ahead and get my face palette drawer because those are the 4 drawers that I really needed to get organized. So let me get that drawer. We'll clean that out. and then we will put everything back after that. These are my face palettes. I know I'm going to be getting rid of some of these. I am keeping the Natasha Denona Blush and Glow, but I've been working on this Tarteist Pro Glow palette for my project pan. I've obviously been doing really well, but I have a second one of these. And one of the selling points for me with this palette is that cream shade, which this ran out a long time ago. So I feel like while I'm using this one is going bad. And I'm trying to use this one up before it goes bad, but in the process this one's going to go bad. So I'm just going to get rid of this one. I've gotten a lot of use out of it. I feel like I got my money's worth. So I'm just going to get rid of it. There's no sense in me keeping it. It's like tragic for me, but I want to get some use out of this cream. So I'm getting rid of this. It's going to be okay. I also have my Becca Jaclyn Hill palette, which I do intend to keep. The Flower Beauty palette. I love this, so I'm keeping that. The Milani Flowers of Love palette. Love this. Keeping this for sure. I'm going to get rid of these two Ulta Beauty things. I did like them, but I don't love them. So there's no sense in me keeping them. I could probably depot this though. I'm going to depot this one because it's smaller, but this one I'm just going to toss because I don't want it. The e.l.f. Ultimate Face Palette. I do love this because it's really good for fair skin. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to get rid of the Lime Crime Opals palette because I have the Moonchild palette. And I think the Moonchild palette is just more wearable than the Lime Crime one. And the Lime Crime one, it seems like it's like separating. Like when I put it on my face, it looks almost oily. And I don't love that. I think there's something off about this formula. So I'm getting rid of that, but I'm keeping the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit. I also have the Sun Dipped Glow Kit, which I really love, but I do want to depot. I want to get like a huge Z palette. So I'm going to put that in my depot pile. And then I have the Wet n Wild contouring palette in Dulce de Leche. This doesn't smell. There's no mold. There's nothing weird about it. So I am going to actually keep this even though it's 100 years old. I'm going to keep the vintage highlighters because I love this formula. Can you stop? I'm definitely keeping this Becca Sun Chaser palette because you can't get this anymore. So, and I think I decluttered Opal, or I will be decluttering Opal. So getting rid of that. I have this Pure Bronze and Brighten palette, and the only reason I've kept it is for this highlighter, but honestly it's like dried out. Like I know it doesn't look like it, but it's so crumbly. I think this has gone bad, which is like insane to me, so I'm just gonna toss that. I have the Smashbox Pearl palette, which I love, so I'm keeping that. And I have the Jelly Keen powder palette, and I'm keeping it for these highlighters specifically. These are gorgeous. It was like a collab with Casey Holmes, but like it didn't work out, or like something weird happened. I don't know. I want to know the story. I don't love the blushes, but I do love the highlighters, so I'm definitely keeping this. These Pacifica blushes are like some of the best I've ever tried, so I'm definitely keeping that. I don't know why this palette conflicts me so much, but I'm finally going to get rid of it. I've like tried to get rid of it so many times and I would like freak out about it, but I never use it, so that's stupid. I have this Morphe blush palette. I'm keeping it. This is in the Pop of Blush shades, and I really like this palette. So I'm keeping that. I'm keeping everything else in here. So I'm keeping the NYX contour palette. It's the only drugstore contour palette I have left, because the high-end one that I have is the Tarteist Pro Glow one. I have the Strobe of Genius palette from NYX, which is one of my favorites, so I'm keeping that. And then I'm going to keep my Z palette, which has... Yikes. That was almost a disaster. I have Tarte Exposed, all of the ones from the Sugar Glow Kit, Tarte, I don't know, maybe that's Exposed Blush, I have no idea, but it's like one of my favorites, and then Makeup Geek, or no, Anastasia Fawn. So I'm going to clean out these drawers, oh my gosh, and then find some semblance of organization. those are the only ones that were really dirty. So I think I'm going to organize these by like, first I'm going to do brand. So I'm going to have my drawer of like the things that I have, like everything, like so like the Too Faced, Anastasia. Let me just organize it and then I'll tell you, okay? So let's try that. Okay. Okay, so brands that I kind of collect from, which is Huda, Too Faced, Anastasia, these Urban Decay Naked ones, and ColourPop, I just put in the same bin, but I do want to put my singles in there too, so my ColourPop singles and stuff, I will just also go ahead and, dang, these aren't going to fit correctly. Let's try that. So kind of like this. I'll see if this works. So then the next drawer, and I'm including face in here as well. So this next drawer, maybe I'll do more colorful palettes and then more neutral ones on the bottom. But the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm realizing I don't think I'll have a full thing for color. Or I'm gonna continue doing it by brand, I think, because I really liked the way that turned out. So let's see. Let's just figure this out. Let me move my Depop pile away from here. And let's continue to do it by brand because I think I really liked that. Okay, I'm not liking the whole brand thing, so let me do it by color scheme. Let's do my more colorful eyeshadows in here, including like peaches and stuff, and let's see how that goes. Actually, this worked out okay. So this will be like my more colorful drawer. Let me just organize it a little bit better. So this can kind of be the drawer that I go to when I want a little bit more color. I don't have a lot of colorful singles, so there's no sense in including those in here. So yeah, I like that. Do I have anything else? You know what, these, I don't really use the blushes in here. Let me add, I'm going to go ahead and add this Fully Girl palette, and then I think I'm going to add my e.l.f. Rose Gold stuff there because that's a little bit more colorful and warm. So yeah, I like that. So let me put that one there. And then this one. I'm going to go ahead and add all of my singles into here. Section up. So we're doing neutral palettes. Can you scoot? So we're moving on to base products. In this section, I'm going to declutter. Well, actually, I have no concealers to declutter. So I'll just tell you what I have in here. I have my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define, my Ulta Youthful Glow, the Ulta Full Coverage Concealer, the Catrice Liquid Camouflage, my Glossier Stretch, and for eyeshadow primer, just my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and Ebates. So I've really condensed this collection. For my brushes, I can get rid of some of these. I do like this one when I remember to use it. This is really good for concealer. This one is really good for cream contouring or bronzing. I enjoy using this for a travel brush. And then all of these smaller eye brushes I do use for travel, except for this one. I don't really use this one for anything, so I'm going to get rid of that. Oh, I've been looking for this like literally forever. This goes up here. Yikes. Okay. Some of my double-ended brushes are in here. I really don't use the Urban Decay ones very often, so I can get rid of these, and I also don't use the Profusion one. I've also been looking for this freaking brush forever. This is my favorite lower lash line brush. So I'm glad I found that. And then I just have a pair of tweezers in here. So then for primers, I'm going to get rid of a few because I don't need all of these. For facial primer, I think I accidentally put my Smashbox one in the next drawer, so you'll see that in a second. But I have my Garnier Skin Active. This was sent to me for free, and I do enjoy it, so I am going to keep that. The only blurring primer I plan to keep today is the Cover FX blurring primer because I really do love this. And then for a tacky base, these two are kind of one and the same. This is the Jane Iredale Beauty Prep Hyaluronic Serum, and this is the Illamasqua Hydra Veil. These are very similar, but I'm going to keep both of them. I only have one mattifying one. It's the Body Shop Tea Tree Mattifying Lotion, and I really enjoy this. The two I'm going to get rid of are the Too Faced Primed and Pureless Pure and the e.l.f. Lit From Within. They're just too slippy for me. So I'm going to get rid of both of these. And then for a moisturizing one, I have my Coconut Skin Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. This one is like one of my all-time favorites. I need to buy a new one. I'm almost out. And then I have the Physicians Formula Spotlight Illuminating Primer. I don't like this as much as the Wet n Wild Dewy Primer, but I'm going to use this up and then switch back to the Wet n Wild Dewy one. So. Okay, this drawer is like absolute yikes. So I'm going to start with sprays. This one needs to go in the primer spray, but this is the Smashbox Primer Water, one of my favorites. I am getting rid of this. This is the Essence, I can't breathe. This is the Essence Glow to Go spray. I'm going to get rid of this because I just don't like it. It leaves little water droplets on your face, and I don't love that. For setting sprays, I actually only have 4. I have the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, which I love. I have the Anastasia Dewy Set, which I've obviously used a lot of, and I really, really love this. I thought I would like it as like a glowy mist, but I actually really do like it as a setting spray, so that's what I use it for. And then I have the CoverGirl Look Lock Up, and I love this as well. And then I have the NYX Matte Finish. I only use this for travel because of the size, but once I'm done with it, I'll probably not repurchase it. I want to try the dewy version of this, but it's not bad. I do like it. Alright. For foundation, we'll just go to like more sheer and then to more full coverage. So for sheer coverage, first one is the Glossier Skin Tint. I'm almost through with this. When I'm out of it, I will repurchase it, but I'll probably wait until I finish some of my other sheer products, like for example the LA Girl Pro BB Cream. These are like one and the same, except this I can apply with a sponge. There's just a tad bit more coverage to it. And this has a much better shade range. This I have to lighten with something, but I do like both of these. I also have the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. This is one of my favorite ones. I just recently repurchased it. So this is definitely a favorite. Not the last, I have 2 more. I do have the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream. I do like this. I just think the shade is all wrong, so I have to lighten it, which I don't love. But I still really like it. And then I have these 2. I think I'm going to introduce this one into my project pan because these work really well together, but I don't like the matte one on its own. I much prefer the original CC cream, but I haven't used these in a long time. I'm reformatting my entire like project pan, if you didn't notice, because I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff that was in my project pan. But yeah, I like this one much better than this one, but I want to use this up because the formula is really similar. It's the shade that's wrong. Like the shade is horrible, even when something is mixed in, but that's okay. And the formula is like a tad different. Alright, so next we'll just do like lower coverage foundations. The first one is the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. I love this foundation. I'm not getting rid of it. It's one of my favorites for like lighter coverage days. And then I have I need to shake this up because it's like separated, but I have the Essence Fresh Fit and Awake Makeup. I love this as well. I'm not getting rid of it. Alright, so now let's move into just matte foundations. My favorite one right now is the Haley's Liquid Matte Reset Foundation. I love this. This is like one of my favorite matte foundations at the moment. I also really love the CoverGirl True Matte Made Foundation, and this color is like the perfect shade. So I really love this one. I also love the Bare Minerals Bare Pro. This is probably one of my favorite foundations of all time. I just love it so much. It's long wearing and it looks so good on the skin. I also love the LA Girl Pro Matte. I think this is a really good matte foundation and it's affordable, so I love this. And then my last, no, it's not my last. I also have the e.l.f. Acne Solutions foundation. I think this broke me out. I've been terrified to use it because every time I use it, it broke me out. It has salicylic acid in it, so it makes sense that it would break me out. But I loved the finish of it. But you know what? I have so many other foundations that I love that keeping something that I think is breaking me out just isn't conducive to my life. So I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm also gonna get rid of the Sonia Kashuk matte foundation. I really love this, but it's heavily scented and the packaging is broken. I was gonna keep this in my project pan, but I'm realizing that first of all, I'm not gonna use it up. Second off, I don't like what it's doing to my skin in terms of like being scented. And I also don't love that it's hard to store and it's really old. So I'm getting rid of it. I am also getting rid of the Maybelline Super Stay Foundation. It's not cruelty free, it's way too full coverage, so I'm getting rid of that. I'm putting that in the giveaway pile. And then for the last two, I have the LA Girl Pro Coverage and the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir. I don't know why this was discontinued. That is like a sin to me because this foundation is one of the best, so I'm keeping it. And then the LA Girl Pro Coverage, I have been using this non-stop this month. I think I've used it every single day because I'm like obsessed with it. I've used it before, I owned it before, but I didn't really use it all that much. But now I can't get enough, so I really love that. And then lastly is the NYX Pro Foundation Mixer. This is one of my favorite products. NYX Pro actually told me that this is like one of their worst sellers. Like I think NYX was thinking about like discontinuing it. I'm glad they haven't because I love it. But that's all for my foundations. Let's clean out this nasty drawer. I want to move my setting sprays somewhere else, but I don't know where. I know this is going to move, but these just don't fit. So we'll see where we're at. I'm going to do a re-inventory, but we'll see where we're at. I might move those. Alright, this drawer is my mascaras, brow products that aren't pencils, my powders, extras, minis, and eyelashes. This can be condensed down so much. First thing I know I'm keeping is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara. I love this. It's just unopened. I'm going to go ahead and pop this in a giveaway. This is an Ulta Beauty Lash Mascara that I haven't even opened. So I'm going to throw that in like an actual giveaway. Everything else I think I've used, I think this is almost out. Yeah, this is the Ulta Beauty Brow Tint. I'm just going to toss this because like it's like basically empty. I have two of these Anastasia Clear Brow Gels, and I think they're both still reasonably okay. I think if one of them is empty, it's probably this one, but I don't think either of them are fully empty, so I'm just going to keep both of them. I'm trying to only keep one or two mascaras open at a time. So right now I have the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes and the It Cosmetics Superhero. Let me see what this brow gel looks like. This is the Ulta Beauty Brow Gel. There's still product left in here, so I'll keep that. And then the only tinted brow gel that I currently have is the Anastasia Dip Brow Gel. So I still have that. I also have some dual lash glue in here and then an extra eyelash curler. So the next little compartment, I have an extra soft ivory Wet n Wild Photo Finish foundation. I don't know if I necessarily need an extra. I'll probably go ahead and get rid of my older one. This also needs to go in the foundation drawer if I do get rid of the older one. But that one is like super, super old. And that's technically not my color, but I mix it with porcelain and it works. Alright, so newer powders. I'm not getting rid of my Beauty Bakery Flour Powder because I love it. Also not getting rid of my Too Faced Primed and Poreless Powder because I love that as well. And I'm not getting rid of my Cover FX powder because I love that. But I am getting rid of these 2 Maybelline powders. I've had them for way too long, and I'm also just not going to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them. This is the only under eye setting powder that I like that's pressed. So I'm going to keep this. It's the NYX HD Banana Powder. I really only use it for like special occasions when I want like super bright under eyes. I have the Hourglass Diffused Light Powder. I'm still testing this out, but so far I'm really enjoying it. I have my favorite powder, my favorite loose powder, which is the Glossier Water Powder. I've used a great deal of this. I love it so much. The only powder foundation that I truly love is the Bare Minerals Blemish Ready Foundation. It's the only one I own, actually. I just got this. I just haven't tested it out enough. It's the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. The main reason I haven't is because I've had this Bare Minerals Visible Light in my project pan, but I'm done with this. Like, I'm really scraping at these corners. The powder is really dry. It's really not doing anything for me. And like I said, the only pressed powder I really like for under eyes is the NYX one. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I've used a lot of it. I'm really proud of my progress, but I'm just done with it. This is a newer one in my collection. It's the Bye Bye Pores Pressed from It Cosmetics, but I'm really loving this as well. I also have this mini Manna Kadar powder that it's okay, but I don't love it, and I've used it a lot, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that as well. Alright, I have a lot of minis in here, and these can probably be condensed down. I thought I really liked this Josie Maran Argan Oil, but I found that I actually don't love it. It breaks up my makeup, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I have the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer, and I have a second thing of it. Yeah, I have 2 of them. I love this, so I am keeping it. I also have a lip scrub from Wet n Wild. I've been keeping this handy for when I run out of a lip scrub, so I will be keeping that. I also have a sample of the Lala Retro Whipped Cream from Drunk Elephant. Oh, it's open and it's been used. Should probably go put this in my bathroom if it's been used. I have this primer. It's the VDL Lumi Layer Primer. I also have the No Poreblem from Touch and Soul, and I have the Hourglass Veil. I love all of these, so I will be keeping them. I'm going to throw this in a giveaway. It's the Ulta Beauty Infused Lip Oil. I just don't love the formula of that. It's not a bad product at all. I just don't love it. I'm gonna get rid of all my brow pomades because I just don't use them anymore, and they've gotten nasty and bad and gross. So I'm just getting rid of those. I have this travel size It Cosmetics CC cream. I'm gonna keep that. I also have a travel size of the Becca First Light priming filter. I also have this glitter glue from Too Faced that, okay, it still works. I was gonna say, I think it doesn't work anymore. It's fine. No big deal. I have 2 sharpeners, one from e.l.f. and one from NYX. Let me empty it. I have not found a sharpener I like. I really hate the one that I'm using now. It's the Ulta Beauty one, and it like ruins my pencils. So I also have this one. I have a lot of sharpeners. I have an extra of the ColourPop Get Out eyeshadow. I'll be keeping that. And then scissors to chop my lashes. And then for lashes, I don't have a lot of them, but these are my favorites. I have the Ardell 110s and the Ardell Studio Effect Wispies, and then I love the House of Lashes Bandy Lashes. So I think I got rid of a lot of stuff, so let me put everything back. I'm going to be straight up honest and say I don't know if I'll be able to get rid of anything in here because I love blush and bronzer. Those are like my 2 favorite things, and highlighter. I have the e.l.f. Always Cheeky blush. It's like the primer infused blush, and I'm still testing it out. So far I'm really liking it though, so I'm going to keep that for sure. The Makeup Revolution Barely There Nude. Oh my god. I love that. So I'm definitely keeping that. The Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon Blush is one of my all-time favorites, so I'm keeping that. The Just Bare blush from LA Girl. It's like a pretty, I'm just swatching them to like compare them to each other. I like this blush as well, so I'm keeping that. The Tarte Party blush, which I've been using obsessively lately. Keeping that. Let's do it. Well, I have another Tarte blush in here as well. It's the shade Just Quirky. I think it's like an orangey toned blush, but I just love the formula of Tarte blushes, so I'll never get rid of them. I'm going to get rid of this. This is more of a contour shade, and I don't like it as contour. It's the shade Just Because, and if I wear it as a blush, it looks like a bruise. So I'm going to get rid of that. This is the Pretty Vulgar Make Them Blush Hush Blush or something like that. If you barely tap into it and you get so much pigment, and I really like the formula of this blush, so I'm going to keep it. I have the Notes blush in the shade Desert Rose. Oh, that's smooth too. That's like a really orangey blush. It reminds me a lot of the Ulta Velvet blush. Let me see how similar these are. Not similar enough to get rid of, so I'm keeping both of them. I knew this drawer wasn't going to go well. So I also have the Tarte blush in the shade Feisty, another nude blush. And I love it, so I'm keeping it. I have the Flower Pots blush in the shade Peach Primrose. This is like a very orangey peach, so keeping that. I have another Tarte blush in the shade Prim, and this one I use the most out of all of them. Like, I love this blush so much. It's just like a boring nude blush, and I love it to death. I have this Pixie by Petra blush that I don't really use a lot, if I'm being honest, and it looks very similar to some of my other ones, but I don't think I'm going to get rid of it. I know that's really dumb, but I'm using a Clorox wipe to do that. It's not intelligent. I don't really use this, honestly, the California blush. It's a little too corally for me, so I will get rid of this. And I have two of the Milani blushes, and honestly, if I was going to use a super vibrant peach, like corally, it would be the Milani Rose blush. And then I have Romantic Rose, so I'm keeping those. Two of my favorites, like one of my favorite formulas ever, are these Wet n Wild Baked blushes. I use this one all the time. It's in the shade Don't Flutter Yourself, and then I like this one as well. I'm definitely keeping those. The only mauve blush I own, and it's my favorite, is the one from Physicians Formula. So I'm keeping that. I'm actually going to get rid of this. I don't use this very often. It's like a mauve-y blush. It's in like the wrong packaging, but it's from Tarte. I don't love that blush, so I'm going to get rid of it. I also have the Hot Mama blush from The Balm. It looks a lot like NARS Orgasm. I really like this for the spring and summer, so I'm going to hold on to that. I am going to get rid of the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in Rosé Champagne because this just does not perform the way it used to. I think it's just gotten too old, so getting rid of that. This is one of my newer ones. It's the Laura Geller blush in Violet Hues, and it's so gorgeous, so I'm keeping that. Both of my Glossier Cloud Paints are staying. But I am going to get rid of this because it's old. It's the Wet n Wild Cheek and Lip Tint. It has this like film around it and it kind of smells. So time to let that go. But if they ever came out with these again, I highly recommend them because they're so good. They look like gloss on the face in the best way possible. I have my Milani Luminoso blush, which you could not pry out of my cold dead hands. I love it so much. I also love the Milani blush in the shade Berry Rays. I don't know if you can tell, but Milani blushes are like one of my favorite formulas, and this one is so good, so definitely keeping that. I also have the Studio Makeup blush in the shade Luminous Loose Blush, and I actually surprisingly really love this. It's the only loose blush I own, so I am going to keep it, but it's such a good formula. I'm also keeping my Clinique Cheek Pop in the shade Heather Pop. Just a nice mauve-ish pink, so I'm keeping that. And then this one's interesting. It's the shade Sweet from Tarte, and it's a very, very glimmery, shimmery blush. It reminds me a lot of the Hot Mama blush, but a little bit pinker, so I'm keeping that. But I think I'm gonna get rid of this e.l.f. one. I've only had it for a little bit and it's already like the formula just isn't what I want in a cream blush. If I'm gonna use a cream blush, I'm gonna use the Glossier Cloud Paints. So I'm gonna get rid of this. So that wasn't the worst. The way I had this organized was the cream and shimmery blushes were in the front and the matte blushes were in the back. So I'm just gonna keep with that setup because I enjoyed it. So there's my blushes. Next is bronzer. Alright, we'll see how this goes, but I know I'm going to have trouble with stuff. This isn't even organized in a way that makes sense because I just have so much trouble getting rid of bronzer. So this is the Carrie & Big Soulmates bronzer, and I actually really like the color of this and everything, so I am going to keep it. I have this one from Estee Edit. It's in the shade Bears Bronze Light Medium, and it still smells fine. It's, again, I just really like this bronzer, so I'm keeping it. I have the Marc Jacobs Coconut Bronzer. I'm not getting rid of that. I have the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder. This is for darker skin, which I think is insane, because like that is not for darker skin. But nonetheless, I'm keeping it. I have the Becca Sunrise Waves bronzer. You can't even buy this anymore and I love it, but the opal all fell out on this side. But nonetheless, I still love it. I'm still keeping it. I will keep it until it shatters. I can get rid of this Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I just don't like the tone of this. I don't think it's the right tone for me. I don't think it's the right shade or anything like that. So I'm going to get rid of that. It's a sample size. But I just bought the Milk Chocolate bronzer and I think this is a really nice shade for me. So I am going to keep that. And I do like the new packaging. I also have the Too Faced Sweetheart or Sweet Tea bronzer, and I think this is gorgeous too. So I'm keeping that. I got this in a makeup swap. I didn't purchase this because I know Makeup Forever isn't cruelty free. This is like a more orangey tone bronzer. I think this is in the shade 2. I think this is in the shade 2. But I'm going to give this a shot. I haven't even tried it out yet, but I do like the formula of these. I didn't like my duo because I felt like the duo went bad really fast. But I do like the formula of Makeup Forever powders. I also have the Too Faced Sweetie Pie bronzer. This is one of my favorites. My NARS Laguna is in my project pan, as you can see. I'm almost done with it, so I am going to keep this and I will finish it off. A good dupe for that is the Wet n Wild Color Icon in Sunset Striptease. It's like a perfect dupe for NARS Laguna. So when I run out of that, I can't wait to start really digging into this one. I have the Lisa Frank one, and although I don't love this bronzer, I will never get rid of it because it's Lisa Frank. So I also have the Essence Luminous Matte Bronzing Powder for lighter skin. I love this bronzer. And the Makeup Geek one in the shade Sunkissed, another one of my favorites. I really love bronzer. I have the Butter Bronzer in Light Bronzer. I haven't used this in a while, but I do know I love it. It's mostly because I've been focusing on using up so many bronzers, but once I use up some, or if I could get rid of some, I'll introduce this back because I really love it. The Rimmel Natural Bronzer, I had it in my head that I was going to finish the NARS Laguna before summertime and then I was going to finish this off, but I don't think that's going to end up happening, and this is really old, so I'm just going to go ahead and toss this. I don't need to keep it in my collection anymore. I have the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer, and I really like the bronzer better than the blush. For all my creams, I have the e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette, which I absolutely love, so I am keeping that. I have the Wet n Wild Cushion Contour, but I've noticed that the formula has definitely changed on here, and I think it's expired. I think if there's an expiration date. But it doesn't say. But I know it's expired, so I'm just going to get rid of that. I remember buying that when it first came out. I'm also getting rid of this Temptu bronzer because everything's kind of separating in here. I did like this while I used it, but it's just not fitting my aesthetic needs. These I am keeping though, I think. This I could probably introduce to my project pan at some point. It's the Jordana Sculpt and Glow. I love this as a cream contour. And then as a cream bronzer, I love the Smashbox Step by Step Contour Stick in bronze, and I love the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer. I need to get more use out of this because this is going bad. But yeah, I don't know how to separate this. I think I think my goal was to do like creams and then shimmery bronzers in the same place, but I think I have a lot of shimmery bronzers. Okay, now we're doing highlighters. The first two, honestly, the likelihood of me getting rid of anything in here is like very slim, but the Wet n Wild's Mega Glow highlighting powders, I mean, I love them so much, so I'm not getting rid of that. This Luna by Luna one, I don't know if I love it. I think it's just kind of like very subtle, and if I'm going to go for a subtle highlight, I'm going to go for my Essence Pure Nude, because if I'm going to go for something subtle, I'm not going to go for a pink, I'm going to go for a champagne. So I actually think I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm keeping the Essence Pure Nude. I have my Milani Strobe Light, and my god, this is like my favorite highlighter, so keeping that. I think I'm adding this one into my, or I think I decided I'm going to have this in my project pan, but I don't know. It's the Warm Nude by Physicians Formula, and I've been loving this. I've been wearing it a lot lately, so I'm keeping it. It's probably really old and I should get rid of it, but I'm not going to. I also have my Too Faced Blinded by the Light. This is also a more subtle highlight, but it's like one of my favorites, and it's the only like silvery one that I have, so keeping that for sure. I also have my Ofra Beverly Hills highlighter, and if you mix these all together, it creates like a really pretty champagne-y highlighter, so keeping that. Another Ofra one is Rodeo Drive, and this one is just such a nice gold. Ugh, I just love these, and I love the new packaging. I think it's really nice. This is one by Winky Lux, and I think I just put it back in here, even though I don't think it's one. Yeah, this is really chalky, and I just don't like it, so I'm going to get rid of that. I have the NYX Duo Chromatic. It's like a blue, and honestly, if I'm going to use a color highlight, I'm going to use the one from the Moonchild Glow Kit, so I'm getting rid of that. This one has made it past so many declutters. It's the Santorini Sunset from Aspen, Ovard, and Pixie, and there's a reason. It's just, it looks so good on the skin, so I'm keeping that one. I have a mini of the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in Moonlight, and I'm definitely keeping those. I have this LA Girl strobe light, and although I don't love it when I swatch it, and honestly I think it fades really fast on the skin, people compliment me every single time I wear it, and anytime I have a product like that, it's just really hard for me to get rid of it, so I'm keeping that. This Dose of Colors one, I'm so conflicted on because I like it and I also don't. I do think the undertone is really unique. It is already hitting hard pan, which I think is like ridiculous. I think I'm going to keep it for now, but I might not keep it forever. Another gold highlight that I love is the Almerizi highlighter, and this one is just so soft and so glossy and so gorgeous, and I love this so much, so I'm keeping that. I am getting rid of Becca Opal because I already have this in a palette, and I just do not see the point in having both. And I'm also going to get rid of Becca Champagne Pop. I've had this for a embarrassingly long time, and I have it in a palette. The thing is like breaking, it doesn't even close anymore, and it's really, really old, so I am just going to get rid of it, but I still love the highlight. I just already have it in a palette. This Maybelline Master Chrome, I feel like, look at that, that does not match my skin tone. I'm getting rid of this. Like, I keep thinking like, oh, I'm going to use it, it's going to look so good, it looks good on everyone else. It's not going to look good on me. Let's see. I have a Butter Blush from Physicians Formula. I think I liked this, yeah, as a highlighter. I haven't really delved into this too much, but I want to. I have this Laura Geller Beauty. They actually don't even sell this anymore, and I do like it, but it's old, and I think the formula's changed, so I'm getting rid of that. This Wet n Wild Loose Highlighting Powder in Written in the Stars is one of my favorites. So it's the only loose highlighter I have, and I love it so much. This one in Zuma is my newest one. It's from Persona, and it's just a gold. I really like gold highlighters. And it looks a little dark in the pan and when you swatch it, but it actually blends into the skin really nicely, so I'm keeping that. This one I haven't used in so long. I think I need to pull it out again. It's the only like white champagne-y highlight that I have, and I remember really liking it, so I need to use this more. 2 more powders. I have the Laura Geller one in Charming Pink. Every time I swatch this, every time I use it, I love it. I just don't get enough use out of it, so maybe now that I've gotten rid of a few, I'll get some use out of it. Another one of my favorites is the Fenty Beauty Duo, and this is crazy because like when you look at this, you would not think that this would match my skin tone, but it really does. It reminds me a lot of Becca Opal because when you blend it out, it blends into the skin really, really nicely. Oh gosh, I got a little bit in that blue pan. But also this blue, if you blend this out, oh my gosh, it's like, it's so, so pretty. You can also use this as an eyeshadow. I think these are like Fenty Beauty's like unsung heroes in their line. So I really love this. I'm definitely keeping it. Alright, now we have all of my creams. And for now, I am going to keep the Naked Skin highlighter fluid. I think I'm going to put this in a project pan and try to use it up. So, and then also the same with Becca Moonstone. I'm keeping that. I don't know why I like this application method. Like, I know it's not the best, but it's just so easy to like dab onto the skin. I have this one from Ulta Beauty, and I used to really like this. It looks really intimidating. Like when you put it out, it looks like it's going to be like cotton candy pink. But then when you blend it out, it's really, really pretty. But the texture is really, really thick. But I remember really liking it, so I'm just going to keep it for now. It's just really sticky. My other ones aren't as sticky, but I also just put a crap ton on. I am keeping my ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in Lunch Money. This one is in a project pan right now, but I will be getting rid of it once the project's over because it's really, really old. But I will be getting rid of this Physicians Formula Butter Highlight. I just don't use it enough, and I constantly go back and forth with it, but the texture and the color of it is just really strange. So I am getting rid of this. We're taking a break from makeup, and I am going to declutter some of my brushes. Any brushes I don't want, I'm just going to toss because they're all kind of old. Pretty much all these I'm going to be using because I have used them. So I'm just going to put these to the side. These are my face brushes. I never use this Moda flat brush like this, so I'm getting rid of that. The ones I do use, any of these like stippling brushes, I really do like these. Let me see. Yeah, like these stippling type brushes, I use these for creams, for bronzers, for contouring, so I'm keeping those. And then these are my 3 bronzer brushes that I like really love, aside from this one. This is like my new favorite. And then, let's see, this one I use a lot for powder or blush, and then I use this a lot for powder. I use this one, I used to use this one a lot for blush. I haven't used it in a while because this is like my new favorite blush brush. I use this one for under eye powder, and I use this for under eye powder, even though this one, yeah, this one just needs to go. I use this to apply cream contour, so I'm keeping that, and I also use these two for like cream products, and this one to blend out concealer or to put on powder. All the rest of these I just don't need. They're like different brands. I just don't need them. So I like to separate my brushes into like the cream product side and then the powder side so that powders aren't mixing and all that stuff. So I'm just going to do that really quickly. So there's those, and then I have my foundation brushes. These two are the ones I use the most. I use this one for powder and this one for foundation. I do use this one for tinted moisturizer. And I also use this one every now and then. This one I would use for cream blush, so I'm just going to put that in here because I like to keep my foundation brushes in this little container. And then this needs a lot of help. This is where I keep my eyeliners, my brow products, some tweezers, but then also my eye brushes and my highlight brushes. I need to get rid of this Winky Lux brow pencil. It has like some white film on it that I just don't think is appropriate. But I am keeping my NYX black pencil. I'm keeping my Stila liquid eyeliner. I'm also keeping my IT Cosmetics brow powder. I need to get rid of this e.l.f. eyebrow gel. I just don't use it. The eyeliner in Milk is the only white eyeliner I use. The LA Girl blue pencil I don't use. I do use this Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil. I never use that Ulta eyeliner. This is the jumbo eye pencil in dark brown. I do use this every now and then. I love the NYX Faux Black. I also love the Persona in Plum. The NYX Epic ink I've had for way too long, so I'm going to toss that. And then my Anastasia Brow Wiz. So I need to get rid of some of these brushes because I really don't use them. This is also my velour puff, which I'm keeping, obviously. But I'm getting rid of this. It's just like a flat eyeshadow brush, but it's just way too big. I'm not going to go through the brushes I'm keeping because I have so many that I use. I'm getting rid of this vintage eyeshadow brush. I don't use these angled brushes, but I do use angled eyeliner brushes every now and then. So all of those are every now and then. I use them a lot. So I am keeping all of the ones that I have. I'm keeping all these smaller Milani ones, and I like to keep these in here because I think they're so good. And then all these flat eyeliner or packing eyeshadow brushes I will keep. And then all of these fluffier brushes I will keep as well because I really like these. Actually, I think pretty much everything else I will keep. And these are my highlighter brushes. I know this seems like a weird one. It's like kind of dense, but sometimes when you have like a really hard pan like highlighter, it's really good to like really pack and buff the highlighter in. So I am going to put like my shorter brushes in with the highlight brushes so that they don't get lost in my collection because I really like them. The rest hopefully will fit on the other side. And this is also a highlighter brush. So I know there's a reason that there are foundations in here, but for the life of me, I don't remember what that reasoning behind it is. So part of me just wants to like move things around. I do know I am getting rid of this soft ivory because this one's expired, but I am keeping the Wet n Wild in porcelain. I'm also going to keep this. It's the Marc Jacobs Gel Genius or Genius Gel Foundation. And I'm also keeping the Makeup Revolution stick foundation. I have this Milani Beauty Oil, and I honestly just don't like it. It just doesn't work for my skin, so I am getting rid of that. A lot of these I will be tossing because they're expired. And I'm not starting in any particular order. I have this Palladio and Casey Holmes. I'm keeping this. This one is the shade Obsessed. It's the only like one of this shade that I want to keep because it's the only one I really like. I have these Wet n Wild lip glosses, and I really like these. I like this formula, so I'm keeping these. And I'm even going to keep this because it's a more fun color. It's the shade Virgo. Alright, I do like this shade. It's the liquid lipstick. It's Ofra. It's in the shade Havana Nights. And with that being said, I don't need to keep this one by Video Vixen by Wet n Wild. All of these lip bars I'm keeping. Yeah, all of these I'm keeping. I really love the lip bar formula. This NYX Lip Lingerie, I know I had a moment where I really, really loved this, and I think I'm going to keep it because it is like a cooler tone, and I don't have a lot of cooler tone glosses. Alright, this one still smells fine. It's the ColourPop Kathleen Lights. This one is in Hello Kitty. That one still smells fine. I don't love this color though. This isn't a color that I normally wear, so I am going to get rid of that actually. It's a little old, so. Alright, all of my lip liners. I think these are all fine to keep, honestly, because most of them are either sharpenable or I haven't had them very long. I just got back into lip liner recently. So yeah, I'm just going to keep all these. They're all different enough that I can justify keeping them. Alright, I'm keeping Moonchild, and I'm also going to keep Jamie. These are all from the Kathleen Lights collection. I'm also keeping all the Palladio ones with Casey Holmes. I'm getting rid of this lip oil because I do not like the formula of that, or the way it smells, or pretty much anything about it. I do like these more glittery glosses. I only have a couple. One's from Milani and one's from Almay, and I love the formula of these. Let me see if this is still good. I don't think this is still good, if I'm being completely honest with myself. I hate the way it smells. I'm convicted. Hold on. Alright. I hate this. It's the NYX Slip Tease. I really thought I would love this, and I don't like the shade. I don't like the formula, so I am going to get rid of that. I like this liquid catsuit in the shade Oh My Dolly, so I'm definitely keeping that. I don't love any metallic lipstick, so I am going to get rid of the Pretty Vulgar and My Lips Are Sealed. If I'm being honest with myself, I don't like the melted mattes anymore. This is in the shade Child's Eye. It used to be like my favorite, but it smells weird. And I think they all smell like this now, which I think is so weird, so I'm getting rid of that. I'm just not even messing with that. I do love all of these Anastasia ones though. I just can't get rid of these. Like, these are like, they're just like my favorite formula of all time. Where's Pure Hollywood? That's my favorite one. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, I love these, so keeping these. I'm getting rid of this Hank and Henry one. I just don't like the shade. And then I'm keeping both of my Buxom glosses. ColourPop Strip, it looks like it's gone bad. It's starting to separate, and it smells. So I'm throwing that out. I have all of the Persona shades actually. They're just all in my purse. So I'm obviously keeping these. These are new to my collection. And I also love the ColourPop lip, satin lip in the shade Alyssa. This one doesn't smell, so I think that one's fine. I don't think I've had it open very long. These NYX Butter Glosses. So Creme Brulee is fine, but these two are so old. I'm getting rid of these. I'll never get rid of this because I wore it on my wedding day, but I would not put it on my lips. It's disgusting. I'm keeping this Pixie Gloss with Chloe Morello. I really like that one. Let me see if this lipstick is still okay. Alright, this one is still fine. It's the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Austin. And I love the shade London, but let me see if it's still like okay. Yeah, these dry up so fast, so you always have to check on them. Alright, these liquid catsuits, I don't like this shade. It's pink really hard, so I'm getting rid of it. And I honestly, out of both of these, I definitely like Nudist Peach more, so I am going to get rid of Nudie Patootie. I used to have every single one of those. Oh, I love Flame of the Game though. I do love that color, so I am keeping that, and I also love Rebel Rose. I used to have every single one of those. They used to be my favorite formula. I have just a chapstick. I'll keep that. I have these Burt's Bees liquid lipsticks. One is in Niagara Nude and one is in Tidal Taupe. I'm keeping both of those. I also have this Neutrogena one. I just want to use it up, but I love the formula of that. I have two of these Flower Beauty Miracle Matte Lips, one in Dark and Stormy and one in Bare Honey, and I love these, so I'm keeping those. It has separated and looks disgusting. It's in the shade Treat. It's like a tart, double-sided thing, but that is gross. I'm getting rid of that. I have a Physicians Formula, the Healthy Lip. I'm keeping that. This is so old, I would never put it on my lips. It's from Essence. It's like a matte lipstick, but it's a lip gloss, so I'm getting rid of that. This Flower Beauty one I'm keeping. It's not normally a shade I would use, but it's really pretty. And then I have the Smashbox liquid lipstick in Stepping Out. I also have this Bite one in Glossé or something like that. Yeah, and I really love the shade of this. Getting rid of mauves is hard. I think all the rest of these are mauves. I'm keeping both of them. The Stila All Day Liquid Lipstick in Sheer, and it's in Sheer Patina, and then e.l.f. Tea Rose. And then I have Twisted Kisses from Eddie Funkhauser. Look at this color. Like, isn't that so pretty? I'm keeping that for sure. And honestly, this hasn't separated in the tube. It does smell like peaches, but it's always smelled like peaches, so I'm going to keep the Sweet Peach Lip Oil because I've gotten rid of so much other stuff. So, alright, let me put all this stuff back. You know what, I think I had foundations in here because I had trouble fitting all of my lip products in here. So I am going to keep these foundations in here. So that's actually pretty well. It's my trash. Those are the things that I plan on depotting. And then this is what my makeup looks like. That's the top row. Face, miscellaneous face palettes. My more neutral eyeshadow products and my singles. My colorful eyeshadow and face palette products, and my kind of collector's things, so ColourPop, Too Faced, and then the little Naked palettes. It's my concealer and primer drawer, my foundation drawer, my samples, mascara, setting spray and primer, or my powders, my blush drawer, my bronzer drawer, and my highlighters. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!